Oops. Welcome to the Lift Heavy Run Long podcast, episode number 59 with David Lomax. You can find us at www.liftheavyrunlong.com. Also on Instagram and Twitter at LiftRunLong. Please feel free to email me directly at the address wilson@liftheavyrunlong.com. Also, go to our YouTube channel and subscribe there. And please go over to iTunes and leave us a 5-star review. I'm sitting here with my lovely wife, Dr. Amanda Kimsey Horrell, jacked and tan.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing well.
How was your week?
It's been good. I'm tired.
Tell me about it. You've done some big things this week.
I have.
I'm not going to say what they are. I'm going to let you say what they are.
I can hear Vaughn right now. You're gonna take the wind out of her sails. I started coaching at CrossFit this week, so I've been getting up even earlier than I normally do to get up there and get everything written on the board and run through my notes and get everything set up.
And can I say, good on you?
That's awesome.
I'm very, very proud of that.
Thanks, because that's pretty terrifying.
It is terrifying. And especially for an introvert like yourself, that's a lot to walk into a group of people of your peers and strangers and say, here's the deal. This is what we're going to do. And everybody has been very supportive and appreciative of your work.
I very appreciate them being supportive and being receptive to me coaching and being okay with them being my guinea pigs.
Well, you've worked hard. You study hard. You're definitely prepared.
Yeah.
And everyone compliments about how nice the writing on the chalkboard looks.
Yeah, they just want me to come in and write on the board every morning and leave. They said that'd be great.
There's no question as to who's responsible for that. And we have our sexy cameraman, the sexiest cameraman in Byhalia, Mississippi. The only guy in Byhalia, Mississippi who's capable of working the camera.
That's right.
Mr. Chris Perry.
How are y'all?
Fantastic. And we got him mic'd up.
Yes, this is awesome.
Technology has come through for us, or I have come through with technology, I guess. Last week I couldn't quite pull it off, and it was because I was supposed to press a button, and that button was centered right in front of my face, and that's what made it so hard to get to.
When you have 40 buttons in your face, yeah, that can get confusing.
It is a lot of buttons, I will say that. But the people at Focusrite were more than willing to help, and we got that situation addressed. How are you, Chris?
I'm good.
This is awesome having you with the headset on.
I like talking behind the camera.
Are you more comfortable back there?
Yeah.
You could come sit here
Actually,
since Vaughn's
I would
not
like
here.
to sit behind the camera too, if that's okay.
No, now you can't all go sit behind the camera. Before too long, it's just going to be me and you and Vaughn and Chris are all going to be lined up behind the camera.
What do they say? I got a radio face.
Yeah, I got a face for radio.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like me coaching, I like to have a black curtain in front of me so nobody will look at me while I'm talking.
Like the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
Yep. I was thinking that maybe Chris would like to sit on the couch since Vaughn wasn't here, and then I thought, he's good with the camera. I like having the camera action.
I like the camera action.
And with him back there with a headset on, it looks really professional. We need to get him one of those remote control like boom things where he can.
I want the ones that you strap to your body and you can run.
Yeah, I want you to have one of those.
Exactly.
I really do.
Exactly.
And our guest is my friend David Lomax.
Hello.
How are you, David?
I'm great. How are y'all?
Man, thanks for coming on here.
You're welcome.
It took a little prodding,
It took a little bit, but that's all right.
but it's out of your comfort zone. It's out of most people's comfort zone.
Yes.
But you were willing to do it.
I am willing to do it. I mean, what else did I have to do?
You got a great voice. It's coming through the headset, so I just love it.
It's I think because you got it all hooked up right.
Is that what it is?
It is. It's all, you did it.
Please continue. You know I love this. Before we go into David's story and our relationship and some of the things that he's got going on in the future, I want to read our review that we had. Any of y'all who listen know that the reviews are very important to me, and when I get them, I am extremely happy, and when I don't get them, I'm terribly depressed. And so this review came in at the last moment. We weren't going to have any at all, which was really going to not be good for me and my psyche. But then here we are in the studio, and I pulled it up right before the show, and our friend Robin Raz says, the title says it all. I always have a smile on my face listening to Wilson Vaughn and Amanda chatting up their guests and each other. Wilson knows how to keep it real while sneaking in little pearls of wisdom. I like listening to people that I can relate to and that I can imagine hitting the trails or the gym with. Keep up the good work. 5 stars.
Yay.
How about that?
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Thank you, Robin Raz.
Thank you, Robin.
You have saved my week.
So before we get started also, Chris brought in a shirt for you today.
Oh, look at
Got
that.
a little beefcake action going on.
Look at that.
Very cool.
Beefcake, fuel for the finish.
Yep.
That is beautiful. Let me hold that thing.
I'm sure you'll have that on tomorrow. Or maybe tonight, or maybe during the middle of the podcast.
Yeah, I may just take this shirt off right now.
Go
Chris,
for
you
it.
got that?
Got it.
That's pretty slick right there. Thank you, Chris.
You're welcome.
It sure does pay to have a cameraman who does T-shirts.
He could have some very interesting cards to hand out to people.
Yeah.
And Chris.
I'm Chris, the cameraman promotional
I was going to
products
make me a
dude.
shirt with the front lift heavy, run long, then on the back have cameraman 1.
Sweet.
You need that.
That's badass.
Yeah, you need an identifiable shirt.
Exactly.
And we need a shirt to put up on the website for like the Chris Perry, something to identify that they're fans of Chris Perry because your following
Exactly.
is growing quickly.
Well, we can have me standing there, but have a camera in front of my face.
With the creation of GIFs. Are they called GIFs or GIFs?
Yeah.
My life has changed drastically since learning how to use those.
You know, you can put a second language on your resume now because you know how to speak GIFs.
Can I do that?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm bilingual. I'm figuring it out. But there's no taking back the GIF. Once you send it, if you press the wrong button, then you're kind of out of luck. Like I did to you the other day. I only saw part of the GIF, and I thought, wow, this is funny. And then when I saw the whole thing, it's like that was not the direction I was trying to go with that at all. We won't even get into what I accidentally said, Chris, but it was dangerous.
Now I want to know what you sent them.
No, we're not talking about it. I shouldn't have brought it up. My
It's
apologies.
too late now.
Let's talk about my friend David Lomax.
All right. What do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about you and what you got going on. I want to talk about our relationship. How'd you and I meet?
We met at Lakeside Treatment Center.
We met in a mental institute.
We met in a mental institute.
in the nut house.
Yes, we did.
Some of my finest relationships have come straight out of the loony
Yes,
farm.
we did.
And I've been on both sides of it.
Yeah, we met on it was day 4 of me being sober, and we've talked pretty much every day since, and that was April 5th, 2014.
Wow.
So, yes, we've talked every day for over 3 years.
You have called me every day for,
Pretty much.
for 3 years, and there's a lot to be said for that.
Yeah, a couple of times I
Not
have.
for
and you beat
calling
me
me,
to it.
but for calling someone and doing the deal.
Yeah, so we've known each other since then.
Boy, you were a great big ray of sunshine that day.
I can only imagine, I was glad to see you, though, because that was a day that I didn't have anybody else that was willing to be there for me. So that was a big deal. Yeah.
You've come a long way, man. I hope that you're proud of yourself because you have certainly turned it around.
I appreciate it. I think so, too. It's been a long journey, but it's still going. So it's a lot of stuff's happened since then, and there's a long way to go. So.
Well, you don't sit still for very long. As a matter of fact, you went straight from the nut farm and headed downtown every day and started running the stairs and getting yourself in shape and doing what you had to do
as a smoker, too.
As a heavy smoker.
Yes. When I first started running, I used to like to go run the trails. We'd go run 5 or 6 miles, go back to the car, have some peanut butter and jelly, smoke a couple of cigarettes, and go run some more and do the lap again.
David was my hero runner, man, because he was damn proud of it. He had that piece of Outback car that you were driving.
That's about the only thing I had to my name, though.
Yeah,
and I started running.
I think
again.
they were all 4 spare tires.
I think so too, and they were all dry rotted as well.
You had about 70 psi to split between the 4 of them,
and it smelled like fuel on the inside of the car as well. So I had to finally get rid of it. But I started running then because I was too broke to do anything else. I had some tennis shoes, so I went running.
Well, you know what you could have done? You could have sat on your ass and felt sorry for yourself.
Yeah, I could have. I've done that plenty, and I'll still do that every now and then.
I do too.
Yeah,
for sure. But you didn't do it in this situation, and you worked hard. And man, we, just like you said, we would run one way down Wolf River and come back the other way. We'd have 20, 25. I ran my first marathon distance with you, and we came out of Herb Parsons. It took us about 6 days, it seemed like, and we got out of there, and we were at like 25.5 miles.
Yeah, and we start doing some little laps like in the parking lot around the car, so you can actually get the marathon distance.
Yeah, we looked like 2 old men that had, like, we were chasing each other down, wanting to fight. We were running a lap that was probably 200 feet long.
Now, you ran longer than me that day, I think, though. Did you get there before me?
Nope.
Did I run a marathon distance with you that day?
Yes.
Okay.
And I was chasing you.
Okay.
At a speed at about 1.5 miles an hour.
No, I don't go much faster than that.
Well, you were going that fast.
That was a good day. I remember that day.
Under. But man, we would go up and down the Wolf River Trail.
Yes,
and
we would.
once you hit break time, you'd pull up the hatchback, kick the shoes up there, pull out a peanut butter jelly sandwich, and start smoking Marlboros like it was nobody's business.
Yes, Marlboro Lights. I love those things.
That's where I first met you. We did a Wolf River run. And you pulled up the hatchback.
Yeah.
And you and David became pretty fast friends.
Yeah.
We did.
Through
Been
running
friends
stuff,
ever since.
He was my Tupelo marathon buddy.
Yes, where you finished and I didn't. Well, I finished, but they gave me a ride to the finish line.
But you were there for a little more than half of it, and that was
and then she ran off and
help.
left me.
Well, I needed help that first half to get through that.
That's brutal.
That's a special race. That was a brutal race. It was a special race. It was my first marathon in 120 degrees. I don't know what it really was, but that was bad.
That's the only time I've tried to run a marathon, like a legit road race marathon. My only attempt at it, and I didn't get it.
That's probably the most terrible
and I don't
race
care to ever do it
ever
again.
Try again. Yeah, I could kill Vaughn. Vaughn's like, oh, you need to get a marathon under your belt before you go do that 50-miler. Hey, Tupelo's coming up. Do that one.
Yeah, that was stupid.
Yeah. Thanks, Vaughn.
That was no fun. Yeah, thanks, Vaughn.
Glad he's not here right now.
David's looking over at him
Vaughn.
as if he is there. And Vaughn, by the way, is not here because...
oh, yeah, we haven't mentioned Vaughn.
Yeah, I'm very disappointed that Vaughn's not here.
We're like 10 minutes
so obviously
into
he's missed.
Whoops.
Chris is tripping.
Sorry about that, Vaughn. We love you.
Oh, nobody's missed him.
So Vaughn is going to be on. Vaughn has had the opportunity with his son Jackson to be in a FedEx commercial. So they are on day 2 of shooting a FedEx commercial.
Getting that high five down.
That's right.
That's awesome. Delivering the purple promise is what they call it. I was a FedEx employee. I know that.
That's right.
Yeah.
Boy, that was some brutal hours that you were working up there.
Yes,
You've done a lot of brutal things since I've met you.
I know. I've had a lot of jobs and done a lot of different things over the last few years.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
you're a good example of doing whatever it took.
Well, I appreciate it. And you know what? I didn't have a choice, so you do what you have to do. Yeah, but FedEx was that was that. I have a lot of respect for all those people. That was one of the most difficult years of my life, working from 10 p.m. to 4:30 a.m.
That was a lot.
That's some hard work.
Yeah.
Yep.
You talking about your nights doing that stuff?
Yeah, I don't think I slept more than 3 hours a day for that year of my life.
Wasn't there one day that you didn't sleep?
Most days, I'd usually see, when I got home from work Saturday morning, I'd usually go to sports games Saturday and just stay up all day Saturday as well through Saturday night, and then sleep Sunday for a few hours, and then Monday and Tuesday was kind of the same way. So there's a couple usually days each week that I just wouldn't sleep. Not too much.
And keeping up with your fitness at the same time.
You know, I kind of slacked when I was there, but I used FedEx as for my fitness, you know, up in the uppers of the plains, pushing like 10,000 pound cans.
You weren't training religiously doing that?
No, not really.
During that time period?
I was too tired to train. I would just go run like on Sunday when I had some sleep.
But yet you did some 50Ks and a 50 mile.
Yeah, I did like
race
250. I think 250Ks and the 50 miler with y'all that year that I worked there. And I would probably run there at the end. I was probably only running like 8 miles a week.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
So really, all it takes is
to work at FedEx in the hub at night.
To just bottom out, just wreck your life.
Pretty much.
Go work at FedEx at nights and then sign up for whatever races.
Well, FedEx was that was like job 3 though too, because before that I worked for that ammo company sorting brass cartridges,
which was your dream job.
That was that I did that, and then I worked for a duck call company and I polished acrylic duck calls. And so at one time I was loading ammo and polishing duck calls at the same time. I had 2 jobs. So living the dream, man. You were living the dream.
Yeah. You enjoyed that pretty well.
I did enjoy that a lot. That was a good time. It was really good for me, and it was those were both awesome jobs. I don't know what else to say about that. I really miss those days, honestly.
Simpler times, I guess.
It was a lot simpler.
So you polished the duck calls?
Yes, I sat out it's like, people are like, you worked, or you're like at Duck Dynasty. Like, no, I sat out in a factory, like in a warehouse, and polished acrylic duck calls like all day.
Was there a designated person who blew the duck calls?
Oh, I learned to do that when I was there. But yeah, they blew every duck call that goes through there. They're all like hand tuned, so they kind of assembled them. They blew every single call that went out, and there'd be 300, 400, 500 calls a day.
Is there one guy that does that?
There's like 4.
Do they have like nicknames?
There's one guy that does only one guy that does the goose calls though, and that thing's loud.
Really?
Yep.
I didn't know they made a goose call.
They
to be
do.
Quite honest.
And it's loud. It takes some skill to blow that thing. I never could figure out
Does he
how to
send
do
them
it.
back? Does he blow it and then say you gotta take a little bit more?
No,
off the top?
because you put it you put it together, and then he's got to figure it out. No, he doesn't send it back.
This could go a million directions.
I know.
Yeah, it really could. I was thinking that too. That's why I just kind of stopped.
I'm saying let's
I
keep
need
this
to-
family
slow
friendly.
sometimes.
I need to be
Yeah.
quiet.
Just stop this soon before too long. Then I'll be having to chop stuff up and
Yeah,
use the
probably
beep
so.
button too often.
Yep. I think that's why I just kind of stopped myself as well.
So you said at the ammo place that sometimes those things would like go off.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff at an ammo factory that can go boom.
That'd be scary to me.
That place has been open for a long time and still open, and the only thing that ever got shot was the dog. And that was on accident because someone had, I think, dropped one of the primers just right or something, and then it went off, and it didn't. I don't think it hurt the dog. It didn't kill it,
Yeah,
but
okay.
it
Good.
hit him
That's
in his ass.
Was there any mention of, my name's David. I'm a raging drug addict and alcoholic. I just got out of a mental institute. I'd like to come work here if you got any place for me. And they're like,
No,
yeah,
you don't put that on your resume.
We'll put you in here in a room full of explosives.
Well, in their defense, the guy that helped me get the job, he is one of us. So he kind of knew that. So they didn't put me immediately in there with like the new ammo. It was the old ammo that didn't have the primers, and I had to just sort all the different cartridges and get them in certain buckets before they went over to the reloading room. So I was just with all the stuff that was all used up, not that was ready to go back out. It was a pretty appropriate. I could relate to it.
If
There
you
you
would have
go.
had to pick one, the ammo or the duck call, where would you work?
The ammo.
Since we're on the topic of
Yes,
fitness
Yes, the ammo. That was
since this is a fitness podcast, I want to talk to you about.
So they're probably looking at their phones like, what?
That's the right one.
yes.
We got a couple rednecks talking.
Yeah, it was. I had some.
We're
redneck jobs.
soon to be the #1 rated hunting and
Yeah.
fishing podcast in the fitness world.
Yeah, but yes, the ammo factory. There were some good people there. They had 2 dogs that would come in there and hang out, and I think they're both dead now. They didn't get shot,
Aw.
I think, but they would come in there. It was a really laid back place. My boss was all some really good people. I loved that place. It was really good to me. They kind of hired me when no one else would.
So what about doing the Tunnel Hill 50 miler this year?
You guys are doing that. You tell me. How about
We
that?
are, and we'd like to have you.
No.
Smart man.
You could probably coax me to come in there and to go with y'all, but I'm not running that again.
Well, you should do that. I think you should run it. You know you'd do great.
No,
you
I'm
sure
not
did
in the
great
shape.
at it 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Was it 2 Novembers ago?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was in a little better running shape then. Like, I don't think I could, physically, I don't think I could do it. Or I don't want to go through that again.
What are you at now? What kind of schedule are you working on now? Mostly weights? I know that.
I don't weight as much. It's a lot of weighted, like hiking, and a lot of Stairmaster, and a lot of just long, slow stuff.
I guess I should mention what you got coming up.
Yes, I'm going in September, making an attempt to climb Mount Ranier, which I'm really excited about. I'm not a fan of heights. I'm not a fan of doing stuff by myself, so I'm going by myself to meet up with some guys and a group and make an attempt to summit a big mountain. I've never done anything remotely close to that, so we'll see how that goes. And 10,000 people try every year, and I think 5,000 make it. So I've got a 50%.
The success rate's that small,
Yeah,
really.
50%, right on the money.
Wow.
Be it for fitness or weather reasons.
I would find a way to squeeze that into every conversation.
Yeah.
That I'm climbing Mount Rainier in September.
Kind of like you worked the aid station at the Red Loop thing or whatever.
That's right. I'm still finding a way to do that. I volunteered at an aid station one time.
I remember.
And
I heard all about it.
I seem
Quite a few times, I think.
I seem to continuously find situations where I insert that into conversations.
Well, by doing that, didn't you get to run the race the next year?
Right. Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which is about that's part of my strategy for inserting that into conversations.
Yes.
There's this time I did this really good deed. That's the reason I'm running this race this year is
because I did this great deed.
Because I was out helping people. Because I have to let people know, otherwise nobody knows that I've helped anybody.
I understand completely.
And then there's really no sense in doing the good deed anyway. if you don't shout it from the
So are you going to
mountaintop.
work it this year again?
No, I'll probably just talk about the year that I did it.
Like
I
3
may
years
go
ago?
there and talk to the people
2
that are
years ago
working
now.
and tell them, kind of witness to them about the work that I've
can
done.
go eat their food.
You can go and critique them on how they're handling the aid station and be like, when I did this 3 years ago,
Walk around.
I
saying,
had the
I'm a
bananas.
professional.
I had the bananas over here,
Yes.
and then the M&Ms were right here, and the chips were there.
I can remember back when I was doing it. Like this, it just ain't the way it used to be. Aid station workers these days,
Man, these kids these days.
they just want to play on their phones and eat M&Ms.
So how much weight do you carry around with you?
Usually 40 pounds.
Is that like simulating what you're really going to
because
carry?
they said it'll be like 40 to 50 pounds for like 3 days. Up elevation gain will be like 10,000 feet.
A day?
No, total.
Oh, okay. Oh my God.
No, you start at 5,000,
Okay.
and the peak is 14,400.
Okay.
So the first day is from 5,000 to 10. The second day is like some training on the mountain to teach you, like if you start sliding down it, how to like catch yourself, I think. And then you're like 2 or 3 more thousand feet. And then the last day you're up at midnight and it's like the last 1,500 and then all the way back down. So I'll go up 1,000 and descend 10 in the last day.
Wow. So is this like a race or like a
No,
set
no.
hike? Do you have to do it in 3 days? Is this a 3-day deal?
Pretty much, because you're like part of a team, and if you're slacking, then
Okay.
you go home,
Okay.
or you get pulled from it.
Okay.
So I don't really know as much as I probably should.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Hey,
Like,
David, let's climb
I've
this big
read about
mountain.
it.
Okay.
I've read about it, and it's I'm learning that it's pretty dangerous. And
You know that you've paid and you're supposed to be there on this
pretty
day
much,
with a
yeah.
backpack.
Yeah, pretty much. You know,
Have
and
you got,
I
like,
can rent all the stuff I don't have.
Okay, I was gonna ask if you had a checklist. You know what you're supposed to take.
I
Don't
do,
get
and
up there
I've
and like not have matches or something.
Well, they've got a checklist on like what they rent and what they don't. So I'm trying to put together everything that they don't rent, and I'll just rent the rest of it when I get there. And I haven't told them that I'm gonna be renting it from them, but they said that it's no problem. Like, we should have what you need. So
Something tells me that list is in Kelly's hands.
no, she hasn't seen it.
She
Really
hasn't.
too much. No,
have you seen it?
She's very supportive of me doing this stuff. I look at it all the time and focus on it. Then I'm like, I'm gonna buy something, and then I get all kind of anxiety, like I'm gonna buy the wrong thing, and then I don't buy crap, and I'm procrastinating the whole deal. And because I signed up for it back in like November.
Oh wow!
And it's in September. Like it's I'm 6 or 7 weeks away now.
Did somebody talk you into doing this?
No, nobody did whatsoever. I was just looking at something to do. I wanted to set a goal and do something that was that I wasn't comfortable with, that I was always wanted to do. And so I looked into a couple different things. I like to mountain bike a lot, and I was thinking about maybe trying to put in for the lotto to go to Leadville.
Leadville. I was trying to remember what it was. Yeah.
And it's financially, it's a lot of money. And I think it was, nothing against either one. I think they're both equally hard. And I just was intrigued by doing that. And then I've always, I watch all these mountain climbing movies, and everybody always dies. And I don't know. I just think that's awesome when they're on. Like, I watch it every time, and always have. It makes no sense whatsoever. But I love the mountains like most people love the beach. So I've never been to Mount Ranier. I've never seen a volcano, and it's a volcano. It's got glaciers and big crevasses and all this stuff that, I would like to see. So I figured, why not go see it and climb it. And
what's a
happens.
crevasse? Is
It's
that
like a
just
big hole.
snobby way of saying a crevice?
I don't know. Maybe it's a crevice then. I don't know.
Is that like the vase?
Pretty much tomato.
Look at the size of that crevasse.
It's a big hole is what it is.
So Leadville is that's the horse where they originally ran horses 120 miles or so.
No, I don't think so. Leadville is just a 100-mile mountain bike and foot race.
Am I just making this up?
I could be wrong. I thought Western States was where the horse was.
Is that where it? Okay.
I think so. I could
All right.
be wrong. Somebody will probably correct me. But I think it was Western States, and I think that's where the buckle started.
As long as there is a place where they're running horses that now
there
people
was,
run.
and then somebody might have finished it on foot or something.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I think so. Yeah,
we should know that. I feel like I should know that, but I don't.
Me either.
This is
I've
kind of
probably read
off
about it.
topic, but we're talking about horses. That place we ran the Ragnar, was that a horse track or was that like dirt bike? Well, I don't even remember what that was now. And in Atlanta.
That
Like
might
a
have-
horse track, like a round horse track. Did y'all run in loops?
No, it was like
It was. Have you
trails.
seen those kids where they take the fake horse and they jump over the hurdles and stuff? That's what we did.
Did you
The
know that's
stick
where
ponies.
Amanda and I are going for our Rugged Maniac in a couple of weeks?
No, I didn't.
That's where we're going back to. Where we
Really?
did our Ragnar.
Okay.
Yeah.
That did have something to do with horses, didn't it?
I think so.
It was the Olympic Trail.
Yeah.
It was the Olympic mountain biking trail.
That's what it was.
I know that.
But I think there's a horse park there.
So there's a horse park.
Sorry. That's why I
Awesome.
heard horses and that's where my mind went.
That's
So.
okay.
Yeah, that's all right.
I'm talking about me instead of David.
No,
we
that's-
could
that's
talk
quite-
all about you. You're
We
way
could
more
talk about
interesting than I am.
talk about you or duck calls or crevasses,
Yeah. Or ammo or
mo,
or FedEx.
Okay.
whatever. FedEx, Vaughn.
Vaughn.
He's not
Vaughn.
here.
Yeah, Vaughn.
We
We
can
can
talk
really
about
talk
Vaughn.
We can talk about Vaughn all we want.
David was hot when he got here because I didn't tell David until he got here that Vaughn was
I might not have
not gonna
came.
be- Well, that's why I didn't tell you that he wasn't going
I
to be
said,
here.
you need a cardboard cutout of Vaughn so I can talk to him right here.
Did you notice that I just kept staring at my computer screen and I was like, yeah, Vaughn's not even going to be here. Like, I just kind of wanted to casually throw that out there because I didn't think you just want to sit here with me. But then you got Amanda.
Oh, you're
so
good.
that's-
That's fine. We're good.
Okay. So tell me what your training looks like for Mount Rainier. Does somebody tell you, give
Yeah.
you a training plan?
Yeah, that's
Do you
what-
hire a trainer for that?
No. I should, but no, I didn't.
Well, then that's a two-part question. do they expect you to hire a trainer for that?
I don't think so. They have suggestions, and you can go on the web, and I printed out a training program on how to do it, like a 12-week program, and I stuck to it for about 3.
That's good to know.
That's
So he's going to be in the other 50%.
absolutely.
category.
I fail a lot because I like to train things how I want to. It makes no sense whatsoever.
Were the suggestions, was one of those suggestions get a trainer
No,
before you come out
no,
here?
it wasn't. It was a lot of structure, and I don't do well with structure.
Amen.
And telling me what
Don't
to
tell
do.
me what to do.
Oh my
Don't tell me
gosh.
what to do every day, and how many sets of what each day I can do, and when I can't do stuff, and what day I got to take off. I don't do well with that. I like to go till I get tired, and then go longer, and then when I get so exhausted after like 6 or 7 days straight, I'll take a day or 2 off. I don't suggest that to anybody, but that's just kind of what's always worked for me. It's how I trained for 50Ks. It's how I trained for the 50 miler. Throughout this whole process, I've come to learn my fitness and learn my body, like what I can do and what I can't do, how far I can kind of push myself. So that's what I do. It's not the smartest way whatsoever to train, but it's worked for me.
But I like it. I like
then
that
I
way.
stopped. Then I smoked cigarettes for a while, and eat peanut butter and jellies, and drink some like Coke in a can, like because I don't like it in the bottle, but I like canned Cokes.
And it worked for you?
I guess.
It worked. When did you give up smoking?
2 years ago, January.
So you've been sober
1,218 days.
1,218 days.
Yes.
3 years.
3 years, 3 months.
3
May,
years, 3
June,
months.
July, yeah.
You quit smoking.
2.5 years ago.
Okay.
I guess roughly. I got when I was working at the duck call factory, we were doing inventory like the end of the year, and I was like in a very small room with a guy that had like legit had the flu, and like I got the flu, like not, I've got a cold, like I've got the flu, and I was like, I just felt so bad, I didn't feel like smoking, and I crumbled them up and threw them away and said, you know what, I'm going to quit, and I did. It was, I think, one
I
of the hardest
vaguely
things.
remember that.
Yeah. You vaguely remember me quitting smoking, or how I quit smoking?
How you quit? I remember the flu, that you being so sick that you couldn't smoke.
Yeah, and
then you
tasted
feeling like,
awful.
well, I'm just going to ride this out, and see what happens.
Yeah, and I used a lot of the, the steps and the stuff that like in like my recovery program in AA to quit smoking. Used a lot of the same principles and a lot of the tools that I use to quit. Like I do a lot of aspects of my life, and it's it worked.
Isn't that amazing?
It is amazing. It's all the times I want to smoke. Like it's you play the tape all the way through. Well, is my problem going to go away after I smoke or after I take this break? No, it's not. So, well, do I really need to do it? No, I don't. And then it goes away.
You still love cigarettes?
I do.
I love them.
I do too.
God,
quit
I
18
love
It's like there was a
years
guy-
ago, and I still love them.
Yeah.
18 years ago.
Wow, that's awesome.
You quit smoking 18 years ago. How old were you then?
Well, I'm 45 now, so you do the math. Don't ask
No,
me to
that's
think it's
27
work.
years old. When you smell one, do you want?
Oh, yeah.
That's like him.
Me too.
He'll walk
Oh,
out
yeah.
here. Like,
Yeah, if
Ah,
someone's smoking,
so
I'll go
good.
sit right next to them,
Yeah.
and it smells
Yeah.
great. But if they smoke and then come over later, the way it doesn't smell as good. But
It doesn't smell as good, but I still like it. I went into Walgreens today, and there was a couple people in there that didn't appear to be doing all too well, and they were killing of weed, and they smelled so good. Like I could see the color of the weed that they were smoking.
was it like the bright green?
Yeah, with
Okay. It
with
was the
yellow
good stuff,
threads in
yes.
it. It was really really nice. But they were just reeking of it. But what do you do? I love it. I love
Yeah.
cigarettes. I love all unhealthy things.
Me too.
I even like the way that people smell after they've been smoking. I like the way clothes smell after.
See, I don't. I don't like that, but I like when it's actually smoking. Like at work, if I see someone smoking, I'll go over there and stand next to them because it smells good.
Like, so, ah.
Pretty much. Like, hey, I need to talk to
They're
you for a
sniffing
minute.
their hair.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I'm kind of strange at times.
So I don't know anything about elevation. You're starting Mount Rainier at 5,000 feet.
Yeah.
At what point does oxygen start do you start feeling deprived of oxygen?
I don't know.
That was gonna be my question. Are you wearing a mask?
I don't think so. No, it
Or
doesn't. It
oxygen.
doesn't. It's not on the list that I
Oxygen.
need one of those.
Oxygen. I just got one. I haven't even opened the Amazon box,
Can
but
I
got
take it then, just in case?
No, not for Mount
No, no,
Rainier.
no.
A training
A
mask.
training mask to
Oh,
cut off your oxygen
no.
while you're
Yeah, it's
hiking.
got the little dials on
Yeah.
it. You can
No,
check,
it's
yeah.
all right.
I got that
Those
when I
things
started
are
rowing it.
highly controversial,
Now I don't
They
know. I don't know what.
which I'm sure that you just care immensely about.
Well, I mean, I read on it a while back and studied getting one, and I decided all the reviews said they were terrible. And then we talked to Sean, and I regard Sean's advice highly, and he's like, "You have to get one of these."
Sean is the only review I
And I was
need
like,
for just
"Yes,
about
sir."
anything. Yeah.
And
Doesn't
I
it,
ordered it that
strengthen-
day.
Like strengthens your lungs
Yeah.
or whatever. They've got to work harder to get the
Yeah,
oxygen.
he told me I needed to start rowing in it because I like to row, and he's like, "It'll kill you in the first." He goes on, "You'll probably won't make it 10 minutes." And he's
Do
like,
you know
"Just keep
Sean
going."
Hilsden?
I don't.
He's a big guy and can scoot. Man, he can
He
smoke.
can fly.
He can fly. He's not so big anymore. He keeps getting smaller, but he's just a stocky guy,
gotcha.
big guy, muscly guy. But he trains. He trains
his
hard.
ass
He
off.
is like every time he runs, he's running to die. What's that
Really?
dude's name? Prefontaine or whatever.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know, every time I run, I'm just trying to like get through it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get to where I'm going. I really don't care when I get there.
He's
Yeah.
got his calculations laid
Yeah,
out.
no.
He knows at what step, at what mile he needs to be at what
I
step.
got a lot of respect for people that dedicate like that. I don't.
He's an engineer, so he has that mind. He's got the. He's a self-proclaimed data nerd, so he likes his heart rate, he likes his elevation, things like that.
I got you.
But he's always talking about elevation, and it doesn't mean anything to me. I don't know.
It doesn't me either.
I don't know what any of that stuff means, and so I was curious as to when you start. If it's 1,000 feet or if it's 10,000 feet, when do you start gasping for air?
I don't know.
He'll let you know after he comes back.
He still won't know.
Yeah.
It'll be like
I don't know.
it'll be like part of the way. up there.
It's going to be really difficult. I know that. I expect that. It's going to be painful, and it's going to suck.
but
it's
you
gonna
like
be
that.
awesome.
You're looking for that.
I am very much looking for that. That's what I'm going for.
I mean, this sounds pretty interesting.
I had a guy that does like coaching here in town, and he was saying to train people to go out there, and this was for another event that one advantage that we have, although we're basically like, I don't know if there's any truth to this whatsoever. I have nothing to base it on except for somebody said it or I read it, and it must be true. I probably saw it on Facebook.
Yeah, there doesn't have to be any
Yeah.
truth to anything on here.
But like, I guess like the heat and the humidity that we have in the summer, like training where we're at, like it puts a lot of strain and makes it difficult to breathe. Now it's nothing like elevation, but it mimics kind of like the discomfort. And so that's one way. And I'm like, okay, well then I'm good if I can do it here in the woods, when the heat index is 120 degrees in Memphis, off on the Wolf River trails. If I can do that, then maybe I can climb a mountain. Doesn't really.
That sounds certifiable. That sounds certifiable to me. Sounds
Yeah,
good.
I don't. There's no rhyme or reason to anything I do. You already know that. I just want to do it. I want to see if I can do it. So I'm gonna go try it, because if I don't, I'll regret not doing it.
Man, I think it's beautiful. I think it's great.
I asked you to go with me.
I know.
I asked a lot of people. You were one
Yeah.
of the first ones, and you were quick to say no.
Yes, sir.
You
Like, I'm
did
good.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he said, I got hips, but that'll hurt my hips.
Oh
Yep.
yeah, you and your
I don't need to be
Hips
climbing
will
up any
snap off.
mountains. I'm
It's,
sure of
it's
that.
walking up a mountain. You walk here, it's fine.
I don't need to be walking up any mountains or stairs or even handicap ramps or a bitch. I just don't need to be doing any of that. But that's not my thing. But I'll do whatever.
Okay, so you want to drag a sled behind you for 80 miles in the cold, snowy weather.
My hips will drag a sled.
What is that?
You need to do that with him.
Do
No.
it with
I'm not doing it with
Tuscumbia.
Can I ride on the sled?
No, you can't ride.
That
on-
you're
I mean,
dragging?
you can
I'll go.
sometimes.
You're dragging your own like food, water, sleeping bag, tent, whatever the hell. I
For
don't
how
know.
long?
Like 3 days. I don't
80
I
miles.
don't know if I have that kind of time off. Quit.
There's like a 80 mile, either
I
a 70 or
quit.
80.
You and
Like,
your
like
family
you,
can move in with Wilson.
I want
Yeah.
to do this, but I don't even know the distance. There's like I think there's an 80 mile version, and then there's like a 140 mile version.
Where do you do this at?
And I got called out last time because I got the state wrong. Tuscumbia, Wyoming, or
I
Wichita.
thought
or something?
Tuscumbia was in Alabama.
No, this one's
Tuscumbia, Alabama.
There is a Tuscumbia, Alabama.
There's a Tuscumbia. I know there's a Tuscumbia, Alabama.
And
too.
it has no snow, and it's pretty
this
flat.
this place has snow, And you have different cities or different towns where you can go and, people go in there.
And you're pulling a sled?
Yeah, you pull your own supplies.
That sounds tough.
Like a 50-pound sled. But, I'd rather do something that's long and slow and grueling like that as opposed to something that's, sprinting and,
oh, yeah, me too. I don't like to sprint. I think that's why I like for us, like the ultras and the trail running, because I guess it's acceptable to go slow.
Yeah.
To an extent, or at least I feel like it is. It's you kind of frowned upon. You go run a 5K or 10K or something on the road. If you're walking in mile anytime, and it's like you can go run a 50K and you can walk. I'll still walk in the first mile. I'll walk most of it if I feel like it.
Looks like Wisconsin.
That'd be cold. You do it in the middle of the winter?
It's snowing.
It
snows all the time. It's snowing in Washington now. It's like July, August. I don't even know what month it is. I just know it's Thursday.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna,
it's Tuscobia.
Whatever.
Because Tuscobia is in Alabama.
It is, yeah.
If you're gonna be pulling a sled through the snow, obviously it snows there.
Do you wear snowshoes to keep you from? Is it deep snow?
Even know.
I don't know anything about it. I just want to.
I think you should go do it.
I think I should too. I wish Amanda would sign me up and make all my reservations.
You should.
And do it with me.
I'm not doing it with you. I will support you and Brian Swanson. I will be there. I will cheer you on. I will meet you at certain spots if I need to. But I'm going to go back to my warm hotel room. And
she really doesn't like the cold.
Watch The Office.
I don't mind the cold. I hate the heat. Is that your go-to show?
We watch so much Office.
Like every night. I watch Friends every night before
I
go to bed.
watch Office every night before I go to bed. I'm sure. I can't believe he's tolerated me. I mean, just to have a noise on in the background, and I've got all the episodes memorized.
It's a small price to pay. Watching The Office and being able to sleep next to Amanda is pretty fair trade-off. I'm okay. I'll get through it.
Well, thanks.
I like The Office.
And I watch it, and I'll just die laughing at an episode I've seen literally millions of times, and I'll just laugh like it's the first time I've seen it. It's funny.
And then sometimes in the middle of the night, I'll get up and she's got it on her phone. Like
well,
really
I'll wake
quiet.
up.
We got a TV.
I know, but I wake up and I'm like, oh, the remote's over. I'll just turn on my phone. I'll lay it down by my head. I don't even have to watch it because I can see it in my head when I'm listening to it. So I just lay there and listen
You're
to
too
it.
lazy to get the remote.
Yeah, I mean, the remote's like, all I have to do is step 1 foot out of the bed and reach and grab it off the TV stand. And
she's achieved some incredible man feats. Like she can do some. She's got some tails.
I'm just wondering, like, why the remote's on the TV stand and not in the bed right there next to you.
Well, because there's a spot for the remote.
Oh.
The remote has to go back.
See, I'm not
spot.
that organized. Like every night it's on the bed, and in the morning it's under the little table on the ground in front of the bed because I've kicked it off, and that's where it lands every time, so I know where to find it.
Yeah, remote controls can be a problem. I remember growing up, remote controls were a big problem. My dad would lose the remote control, and he would go hog. Like, he doesn't really get all that mad about anything, but the remote control pissed him off. And now that I'm the age that I am with 2 kids, when I lose the remote, I'm pissed off. So
yep.
It is transferred over. So what happens when you finish Mount Ranier?
The last day is, you're up at midnight. If weather permitting and fitness permitting, we make it to the summit and you're all the way back down by it could be like 9 or 10 o'clock.
Midnight is when you hit the summit?
No, we leave the last camp at midnight. So you you sleep for a few hours. You're up at midnight to try to make it to the summit by the time the sun comes up. And then you're all the way back down. And I think you're back to the parking lot. They say it could be like 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night. In their little place, like I've got a tent that I'm going to sleep at, and I'll sleep in the tent and then get up and drive back to Seattle and get on the plane and come home. There's no like medal or nothing by any means. It's just go see if you can do it.
Wow.
You get up at midnight, go to the summit to try to get there by the time the sun comes up, and then you travel back down, and you don't get done until 8 p.m.
Yeah, the last day.
So it's an endurance deal.
Absolutely, it's an endurance deal, and you're all the way back down to 5. If I guess the last day, basically, you go up to 14,000, then all the way back down to 5 in the same day, and then go home.
Wouldn't it be awesome if you got up there and then, like, on the other side, they had a ski lift that you just rode all the way back down to the car?
Well, some people go up and ski down.
Oh, sweet.
There's on average like 3 people die every year doing this, and 2 have already died this year. I keep looking into it. So
Are you
odds
waiting
are
for the third
by
person?
September, like I think I should be good. And both of those were guys that skiing down. They fell in the crevices.
Crevasse.
Yes, and I think they were covered up, and unfortunately they.
Damn it, Larry, come over here and get me out of this crevasse.
Yeah, I don't think that, and that's normally how it happens.
Are you going to try to ski down?
No, heck no.
Oh, okay.
No, that's no.
Okay.
I'm
Like,
going
wow.
with like a guide service. They're not going to let you do that.
Do they have
That
any
sounds like
stats?
fun though. That'd be awesome.
Do they have any stats on the when they say 50% of the people don't make it up there? Is that typically 50% of the expeditions don't make it up there, or is there a number that
Yeah,
do people drop out of every expedition?
No, the number is like 40% of the non-guided people that go and do it on their own and go the harder routes, like the real serious mountaineers. Like I don't even consider myself a mountaineer, and there's like serious people that it's a big deal. They go up the hardest route. Like 40% of them on average, I guess, make it. So 60% of them don't, and then with the guides it's like the 40%, so it's the average to the 50, if that makes sense.
Okay.
But it's like these guys are legit. There'll be 8 guys like me, or 8 people like me, and 4 guides, so it's like 2 to 1 that really know what they're doing. That'll be kind of just pulling us
That's
along.
a lot of people that know what they're doing. 2 to 1.
Yeah,
That's a lot of responsibility, though, having to take
yeah, and you'll be.
non-knowledgeable people up a mountain.
I'm sure most of them are knowledgeable. There'll probably be one that's not.
You are that outlier.
Yeah, it'll probably be me. But I mean, I did look into it and said, look, I would like to do this. This is, and then you've got like a questionnaire and application and stuff. And
You got a beard, man. You're good.
yeah, sweet.
That's what you got.
Yeah. So it's, what was I saying? Threw me off.
Sorry. I started talking about
Was my beard
Something about my
compliment?
beard. It was, man. I work hard on my beard.
You have good beard.
It goes everywhere from here down. I don't have any hair here. So it's like
That's what it
goes
fell down.
Yeah.
It all fell off the top of your head. Now it's on your face, which I'd rather have it. That's a good beard. Good
Yes,
mountain
thank you.
beard. You'll probably get MVP of the expedition just for that.
Yeah, but there's 2 to 1 guides. So I think there'll be 2 guides. I don't know, to each rope group, because by the last day and a half, you're all roped off to each other. Like I think 6, like in groups of 6. I don't really even know. I should probably know this by now. But and you really, it's teamwork, and you work as a team with the other people and listen to the guides, and everybody has to pull together to make it. And I think that's what all intrigues me about all of it. The races and the medals. I don't know. I don't really seek much. Like, I don't know if it's wanting validation. It's not kind of what I look for and what I do anymore. It's, if I can do it to myself, I really don't. It doesn't matter. What other people think. I think the first time that I ran the marathon distance was before the day we did it, and I want to say like I finished it was by myself out on the trails. The first time I ever ran 26 miles. It's like when you get done, it's like, man, I just ran 26 miles and getting that same little Outback and drive home. And that's really all I needed though. Like I know I did it, and so I'm good with that.
Yeah. Do you have any things planned after
No.
Mount Ranier?
That's if I'm not that third person that dies, I'll figure it out when I get back. But no, I don't have anything planned whatsoever. I guess I'll go to Tunnel Hill with you in November.
Sounds like a good time.
No, I wouldn't run. When do y'all leave? Like on a Friday or Saturday?
Even on
We leave
Friday.
Friday.
Yeah. If you had all the time and money in the world, what would you be doing? What would be your next feat
I have no idea.
or challenge?
That's a good question. I'm really going to climb Mount Rainier, and the mountains really get me excited. Like I get chills when I think about it. I'm able to push myself while I'm training with it. If that goes well, I'd like to maybe try to continue pursuing that to an extent, but it's real expensive, so I don't know how far I could go with it.
Do things like the Appalachian Trail, does that excite you?
Yeah,
or
you know what it
anything you're
does. I
interested
would
in?
love to do stuff like that. I would love to do, the Appalachian Trail. There's the PCT, I think, in California, Pacific Crest Trail. It all does. But it's like if you had the time off, you know.
What's that trail over in that movie we watched where that guy walked the trail for his son? He found out his son had passed. I want to do that.
That would be awesome. I forget the name of it, and I would mess it up because it's over in Europe.
Yeah, it's over in Europe somewhere.
Is it in Europe? I thought it was.
It's somewhere.
Spain
It's
or Spanish.
Spain's in Europe, right?
Yeah.
North of.
I'm telling you, we
North
need
of
a map.
Arkansas.
We need a map of the world in here.
Alabama.
It's like it's on the tip of my tongue. The name of it, and the movie is too, because it's got the Sheens in it.
Yep,
like,
it does.
The dad and Emilio Estevez and
Yeah.
all them.
Trail
It's-
movie Sheen.
Yeah,
I want
Let's
to do
see
that.
what
But
pops up.
I am very interested in the Appalachian Trail.
all of that stuff really intrigues me too. It's just I don't know how to do all that and still like pay bills and
right.
and
Yeah.
make a living and support my family and stuff. And so I need to figure out how to. If I had all the time and the money in the world, I'd like to do stuff like that and take them with me and experience that and just travel.
El Camino de Santiago.
There you
Yeah.
go. What was the name of the movie?
The Way.
That was it.
Santiago Walk.
That was a good movie.
Yes, it was. But I watch movies like that and I think, ooh, like that's what I want to do.
Me too.
I would be. I wouldn't be worth it.
Yeah,
We're
you're right.
doing that at some point in our life.
Okay.
Me too. I think that's why I'm
I'm
going on
happy
this
to do
journey.
it with you if it's somebody. But I couldn't go out there on my own. Like I can't keep up with. That's a lot of stuff to keep
That's
up
like
with.
2 weeks, right? Or maybe even more than that. Because I was thinking about work, how I was going to have to try to attempt to get off for that. Maybe it's a month. It's a long time.
You can quit your job. It'd be fun.
That's what I can't figure out, like how to do that kind of stuff and afford to do that stuff and then not work.
Mm-hmm.
Need summers off.
You need a sugar daddy.
I need a sugar. I have a sugar mama. Kelly takes really good care of me.
I haven't seen Kelly in a long time.
Yeah.
Tell her I said hi.
I will.
Does she have any adventures, expeditions planned?
Nope. She just told me to make sure to re-up my life insurance.
What-
That's part of the deal.
She's a smart woman.
Yeah.
So David has 2 very athletic inclined kids.
Yes, he does. Both of which own Lift Heavy Run Long gear.
Yes,
Ah,
they do.
Really?
Yes, they do.
I did not know
I
this.
consider both of them to be Lift Heavy Run Long sponsored athletes.
As
So-
Molly crosses the finish line first every time, she needs to have that shirt on.
On the national level.
Yep, Molly is pretty awesome. So is Cooper. Molly's my runner. It's a big year though. She's going to middle school, so her cross country distances go from a mile to 2 miles. So, but she likes the 1 and 2 mile distance. The longest she's run is a 10K. She's 11. She did well. She got first in the off road series in her age group last year, but she didn't like the 10K. She said it was too boring. She likes to go fast. She pushes herself. She's pretty awesome.
That's pretty awesome winning first in the off-road series. Didn't she isn't she ranked in the state? Hasn't she finished?
She
really
was
high up
her
in the-
cross country team last year won state, and then went to nationals, and then I forget. I think she was like 18th or something in nationals in her age group, somewhere around there. But as a whole, like their team, there's a good group of girls that are all like her same age that are just phenomenal, and their coach has done tremendous things, and now they're all going to middle school together, and it's crazy. Her miles, I think her fastest mile now is at 6:11,
That's what I was going to ask.
and
Holy
she's
cow.
got like a 2:48 800 when she runs like on the track, which is nuts. That's rolling. We can't run together. I'll ride my bike and she runs. Or she'll run and I'll walk, and then we have meeting points. But the last time we did that, we lost each other for a while, which was
I remember that.
awful. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she just runs off and leaves me. She's so fast. And then Cooper, he's football and baseball wide open all the time. He's pretty awesome too. He's at football practice now. So
He's all boy.
he is all boy, that's for sure. I've got more than to say blessed, to say the least, to have the family that I have, and the life that I have, with Kelly and both of my kids.
And they're blessed to have you as well.
Thank you. I think they are now.
Well,
I wreaked havoc on all of them for years, for a long time. So it's pretty awesome to be a part of their life now.
some people don't make it to now.
You got that right.
And you do a good job of staying in the now. And there's not a ball game, not an event, not a school function that you don't attend if you can. And there's a lot to be said for that. And looking at it from the outside in, you and Kelly do a fantastic job of working together.
Oh, thank you. I'm very lucky to have her in my life. She helps pull me together.
Well, man, I appreciate you coming on the show.
Awesome. It was good to be here. Thanks for having me.
This has been a lot of fun. You'll have to keep us up to date on what goes on in Mountain Ranier, unless, of course, you're number 3.
Yeah.
Let us know if you get back.
Okay, I will.
Send us an email from the crevasse and
yes.
let us know how that's treating
I'll
you.
send you my 5-star rating for your podcast from there.
We need to work on that. We need to work on that before you go there. If you're gonna be falling off the side of a mountain, and Kelly's gonna be cashing life insurance checks, the least you can do is have.
Well, I told you I've tried it.
review.
I couldn't figure it out.
We got to get. If Kelly's listening, I'm sure Kelly is competent enough to get onto a computer, a desktop or laptop computer, and go to iTunes and get you fixed up.
Okay, well,
because that's what you have to do. That's the difficult part about writing a review on iTunes, on top of coming up with plenty of nice things to say about me.
I didn't put much effort into it. It's probably not that hard.
That doesn't surprise me.
I thought about it, and then I started to do it, and I think I got sidetracked with something else, and that's probably what really happened.
Yeah, write us a review. Whoever's listening, write us a review, please.
I can do that.
Oh, so speaking of which, before we shut this down, I was at the gym the other day, and we had a new student come into class, and I got to coach him, and it was really cool to have somebody come out with a big smile on their face. And I introduced myself. He was like, "Yeah, I know who you are. I listened to your podcast." And he's like, "I feel like I know you." And I was like, "Oh my God, this is the first time somebody's actually know me." So I was like, "Yes."
Sam Renfro.
Yeah, Sam.
And then we got it that very next day. We got a text from Melissa Burgess, who was out on the trail, that said that she passed a couple people that yelled back at her wearing her shirt, said, "I love their podcast." And then we went to church, and the people at Sunday school said they see people out at the breakaway runs.
I had somebody yell at me once when I was on the trail wearing my shirt.
Yeah.
Was it nice things?
I think so. Okay. I had on my headphones. I'm that guy.
Hey, you hog, get out of the way. Thanks. Let's have you right on.
I didn't say what. He yelled something, and I had on the shirt.
David, lift heavy, run long shirt. Could have been anything said. All right. Well, thanks, man.
Well, thanks for having me.
Appreciate
That was
it.
good.
Thank you.
Lift heavy, run long. Episode number 59 is in the books.
Click, click.